Hey, co-op families, we have some really big decisions to make for the future of our school, and we want to make sure we're all on the same page. So thanks for tuning in. Now, a quick history lesson on our school so we can appreciate how we got here. It was started in 1940, out of people's homes, meeting as the first nursery school in our area. And then they had such a following that in 1950s, they moved into the Camas Methodist Church to hold classes there. It obviously kept growing until we get to where we are today in St. John's Presbyterian Church, where we've been since 1999. However, today we are now facing some challenges that need to be addressed in order for us to move forward as a school. Now, a quick little recap. We rent the downstairs space, but our classrooms have a higher rental rate than any of our other spaces because we pretty much are the only people who use those rooms. Now, St. John's Presbyterian Church shares the other spaces with us, and therefore we have a lower rental rate for those shared spaces. Next year, we have been offered to rent the entirety of the downstairs space, which clearly would up our rental amount. If you look at what that does over how much it's going to increase next year, it's not just the full use of the square footage downstairs, but it's going to be the full use of the year. We're used to renting 9 months, but it'll be 12 months. And then the actual rate we rent for per square foot for the year is also going up. So it's something to consider that this is happening not just next year, but over the next several years. And we have to look at the impact that this will have on our school. We love the confidence our landlords have in us and the ability to grow our programs to be able to sustain this growth, but it also has us in problem-solving mode. In order to meet those changes in our rent, do we raise tuition? Do we add more programs, including a summer program? Do we look for a new rental space? Do we buy our own property? Do we do several of the above? And we have been looking into all of these avenues. We've ran different numbers. We've run different scenarios. We've looked into rentals. We've scoured some properties and toured several. And a lot of this was so much to untangle and work through, and honestly really stressful, but we've kept at it. And I'm excited. I think we found something that's not as sad. I think we found a real long-term solution and option for the school. I think we found the next location that we will move to and we can own. Now, before I get further into it, let's hear from someone who we all know, care, and respect so much. Here's Mrs. Walker.
Hi, this is Elaine Walker, and I'm just talking about maybe the possibility of moving our school to our own building. I think it has some possibilities. I mean, you always have to go into a new space with an open mind because it is going to be different than what we currently have, but it also will be our own building. It just seems like for our co-op in the future, this might be a really good idea for the stability of our community school. We have a tradition of being run by families and being a smaller school. The space is different than what we currently have, but we can change and adapt. So, the staff, we're opened. We've all been to see it, and this is a long process, so we really don't know where this road might lead all of us, but I don't know. I'm excited to maybe help the school take this next step before my retirement years come. Don't worry, it won't be within the next few years, but it will be fun to kind of, maybe chart this course with the co-op before I retire.
Okay, now I know you haven't seen the property yet, but we're getting to it. Now, what we have right now is a square footage of over 6,000 square feet. And if we decide to go to a new property, our square footage is going to be less than that. Our current space has really wide hallways. It has a big kitchen, and it has a lot of square footage in that gym. When purchasing a property, there's going to have to be some compromises, and square footage is one of them in this one. However, we would keep a lot of the same space types. We'd still have a sunshine room. a rainbow room, a forest classroom, a kitchen, a gym. Ironically, there's 2 bathrooms in our current space, and the one we're looking at has 3. It also has heating and cooling, which is great, and working lights. But something that it would provide that we could never get by renting: equity and ownership. And with a smaller space, we wouldn't be trying to grow new programs and figure out how to adapt to paying for higher rent. We would be able to cultivate and nurture all of the programs that we all like so much already. And just think how cool it would be to know that every tuition payment gets the school one step closer to owning its space fully. Now, we looked at the proposed church lease over the next several years. And just to put it in a frame of reference, once you have a mortgage, that mortgage rate isn't going up. And so thinking that, yes, our costs might increase from year to year, but not in the same way that you would putting it towards rent. It would at least be going towards our school in some way to keep improving it. Now, there's going to be modifications. We still have a long road ahead of us, and I know this picture still is abstract. You don't know where I'm talking about, but I promise you're going to get a chance to see it if we decide that this is really what we want. The layout of the property looks like this right now. We have plans to knock out walls, get our co-op families involved however much they want to be in this demo process, build up new walls to create the spaces that we want, and end up with a small school that works with the programs we have, works with our co-op model, and gives our staff a staff lounge, which we'd be really excited to give them. So this Saturday, we are having an open house, and we want you to check out the property and vote in regards to just this property. You are either voting yes, keep moving forward. This is a property you can stand behind while keeping in mind that nothing is set in stone until we can finance and actually close. But a yes says keep going. Or you're voting no, hard stop. You don't agree with this route for our school, and that is perfectly fine too. We would like you to vote. Each of your voices matter. We are all part of a parent-run school, so every parent should vote. By voting, you're not just voting for your family, though. You're voting for all the co-op families of the future, those that are going to attend in 5, 10, or more years. We need to meet quorum and have a majority, so please check the place out, listen to ideas, bring your own, and vote. We will have a voting link ready at the open house, and we will also send it out via Brightwheel this weekend. That open house is this Saturday, November 23rd from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. It's happening after our clothing swap, which hopefully you can attend. And it is at 280 20th Street in Washougal. Now, the executive board's going to be there as much as we can to answer questions. Keep in mind, we don't have all of them. This is all so new, but it is exciting. So get there, dream big with us, ask questions, make up your mind, but show up, please. There's no reason you shouldn't look this place up online. I have a feeling you might, but keep in mind that it has so much more potential in person. So if you can wait, I highly encourage you to do so. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.